In the sprawling savanna of the Serengeti, an aging lioness named Queasy struggled to move forward. Beside her was Zane, a frail lion cub staying close to his mother's side, his steps tentative and filled with concern. 3 days earlier, Queasy had been gravely injured during an antelope hunt. A sudden kick had shattered her hind leg, leaving her unable to hunt or travel far. For 3 days, mother and cub went without food or water, their strength fading. Yet Queasy pressed on, determined to guide her son toward any chance of survival. Despite her exhaustion, Zane remained steadfast, never straying from her side, his wide eyes flickering with fear and vigilance as he scanned the sky for passing birds. By late afternoon, the pair collapsed beside a dirt track cutting through the reserve. Queasy lay panting faintly, her wounded leg oozing blood, while Zane pressed his small head against her neck. Too weak to roar, they could only lie still, hoping for a miracle. The crimson sunset cast a quiet, heartbreaking scene across the vast wilderness. Elliot Parker, a Canadian wildlife photographer, was driving out of the Serengeti after a week of capturing the region's wildlife. He was reflecting on a group of lions he'd failed to photograph the previous day when he noticed an odd shape ahead. Slowing his vehicle, his headlights illuminated two large figures slumped by the roadside. At first, he mistook them for hyenas or a carcass, but something urged him to stop. Camera in hand, he stepped out cautiously, approaching with care. A few steps closer, he froze, realizing the figures were two living lions. The lioness was barely breathing, and the cub stared at him with unblinking eyes. Elliot's heart raced. He retreated slowly to his vehicle and grabbed his satellite phone, dialing the Serengeti Ranger Station with urgency. He described the animal's exact location and condition, pleading for immediate help. While waiting, Elliot kept watch over the lions, occasionally snapping photos to document the scene. He could see the lioness was critically weak, barely able to lift her head. Zane stayed vigilant by her side, occasionally growling softly at Elliot. The photographer's heart sank, knowing he was witnessing something rare and profound. 30 minutes later, headlights appeared in the distance as a ranger vehicle sped toward them, a beacon of hope in the fading light. The truck stopped and 3 rangers, accompanied by a veterinarian, stepped out with the medical gear. Elliot greeted them, shaking hands, and recounted everything he'd observed. The veterinarian approached Queasy, confirming she was exhausted and needed immediate sedation. 2 tranquilizer guns were loaded with precise doses for an adult lion and a cub. For safety, they fired simultaneously, one dart striking Queasy's shoulder, the other Zane's neck. The mother and son let out soft groans before slipping into sleep. Zane's head turned toward his mother as he collapsed. The rangers checked their breathing, gently patting their heads to soothe them, then carefully loaded them onto stretchers. Queasy was placed in a large cage equipped with oxygen and heart monitors, while Zane was secured in a smaller cage, lying still but with half-open eyes full of sorrow. The team set off for the Serengeti Rescue Center, 18 kilometers away. Elliot followed, anxiety gnawing at him as he reviewed his photos. At the center, Queasy was rushed to the emergency treatment area, while Zane was taken to a secure isolation space. The staff examined Queasy thoroughly, checking her vitals and taking x-rays. The scans revealed multiple fractures in her hind leg, with little chance of full recovery. The veterinary team decided to operate that night to save her life. Meanwhile, Zane awoke from the sedation and, finding his mother absent, began to panic. He roared and thrashed against the cage, refusing to let anyone near, even those offering food and water. Despite fresh meat being provided, Zane ignored it, his distress palpable. The staff monitored him remotely via cameras due to his agitation. In the operating room, Queasy lay on the table as surgeons carefully opened the injured area. The procedure lasted over 4 hours, with metal plates used to stabilize the bones and internal sutures to close the wounds. When it was over, Queasy was moved to a recovery room, her leg bandaged, her breathing shallow but steady. Dr. Sarah, the lead veterinarian, decided to place Zane's cage beside his mother's. Upon seeing Queasy through the transparent wall, Zane calmed instantly. He stopped growling, pressed himself against the cage, and let out a soft whimper as if calling to her. For the first time in days, he ate a small portion of meat when left alone. His calmness reassured the team, a testament to the unbreakable bond between mother and cub. The next day, Queasy stirred, her eyes scanning the room. She reacted faintly to Zane's cries, lifting her head to touch the cage wall, sensing her cub on the other side. The staff watched, moved by the reunion. They knew the pair's recovery depended on their closeness. After 3 days, Queasy began eating again, sitting up and gently licking her wound. Seeing her progress, the team opened Zane's cage to let him join her. The cub entered cautiously, head low, eyes searching. He approached Queasy slowly, and she extended a paw, nuzzling his head in a tender embrace. Zane curled up beside her, purring softly, a moment that left the staff in awe. Days later, mother and cub were moved to a semi-wild enclosure with grass and open space. Queasy began to walk, limping but determined, while Zane scampered around, occasionally returning to lick his mother's face before exploring further. They basked in the sunlight, safe from hunger for the first time. Queasy's wound healed, but her hunting days were over. The reserve decided to keep her in long-term care as a symbol of resilience. Zane, however, was moved to a training area for orphan cubs, where he learned essential skills like tracking, stalking, and reading signs. Under expert guidance, he practiced hunting small prey like rabbits and birds. Zane quickly excelled, showing remarkable strength and instincts. Dr. Sarah called him a warrior with his mother's spirit. After 6 months, the reserve deemed him ready for release. One early morning, the gate of his enclosure opened, and Zane stepped confidently into the Serengeti. He soon joined a pride in the northern region that lacked a male leader. Through challenges and confrontations, he proved himself, rising to lead the group. In his first breeding season, Zane sired 3 strong, clever cubs. Trail cameras captured him teaching them to stalk under the golden afternoon light, a scene that thrilled the reserve staff. They dubbed him the Serengeti's heir, a testament to his mother's enduring love. Queasy remained in the semi-wild enclosure, cared for like royalty. She never hunted again but was kept clean and fed fresh meat daily. Visitors flocked to hear the story of Queasy and Zane, and a bronze statue of a lioness and cub was erected near the recovery area, symbolizing their unbreakable bond. Their tale became a beacon of maternal love in the wild. Each evening, Zane's distant roars echoed across the plains, a tribute to the mother who gave him life and strength.